It's telling me to clean my lens. Probably just looks at me and says, well, that fucking guy's ugly. Anything we can do to help him, right? Ow. So, let's talk employees. And, you know, what you'll put up with as far as from your employees and shit like that. I got a situation that is not that uncommon in this industry. It's probably as old as the day is long. But I had a guy who worked for me, right? Great guy. Great worker. One of the best workers I've ever had. Right? Real smart, goal focused, orientated, blah 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 blah. Well, he likes to drink, and when he drinks, he gets pissed off. Him and his wife like to get all sauced up, and they fucking fight. Right? So one night, I get a call at my house. It's like 11:30 at night, maybe 12, and it's my employee. So I'm like, Jesus, he never calls me at night. So what could be wrong, you know? I answer the phone and it's his spouse. And she's like, so and so just hit me. So and so locked me out of the house. We'll call him Marty. Okay? Marty just hit me. Marty kicked me out of the house. And I'm like, well, why are you calling me? Call the police. You know? Like, I'm the last person you should be calling. I'm his boss. You know? And she's freaking out. She's crying, sobbing, you know? And I'm like, geez, you know? I'm like, have you been drinking? And she freaks out on me, right? What does that have to do with anything? I'm like, all right. So, hang on. This truck is so stubborn with this trailer hitch. So, I'm like, you know, you got, I don't know, what do you want me to do about it? You know, like, what do you want me to do about it? So, yikes, Jesus Christ, hold on, fucking trailer. So I'm like, what do you want me to do about it, you know? Come get him. I'm like, listen, I can't go there. If I go there and he starts shit with me, then I'm gonna have to fucking tune him up. And then what? Now I just kicked the shit out of him, and I had to fire him. And I said, no, you need to call the police. If it's as bad as you're saying, you need to call the police. So in the meantime, I'm texting with one of my other employees saying, hey, you gotta go get Marty. Go get Marty. Get him back to my trailer. Had a fifth wheel camper in my backyard. He said, you can bring him over there. I don't, Palmer. Don't know anything other than he made a fucking great drink. But I go, no, look, you know, try to so he tries to call, they don't answer, and they're not answering because she's with me on the other line. So, you know, I'm like, all right. So I call a buddy of mine who's a cop in town, and I'm like, hey, listen, Marty's got himself into a pickle over there. I guess he's a little drunk, and they're arguing. Can you go over there, please? He locked her out. She's in the driveway. If this turns into an issue where you have to put him into protective custody, than bring him to my house and put him in my camper, you know? Yeah, okay, no problem. This guy, unbeknownst to me, was very familiar with their situation. See, as a boss, you only know what your employees tell you, you know? You only know what they want to share with you. So you could have a guy that comes to work every day and he's a great employee, does everything right? Always on time, very productive, you know, natural type, he's a natural leader, blah, blah, blah. Then he goes home and he gets shit-faced and beats the shit out of his wife. You don't know that. You don't know if he goes home and beats the shit out of his kids. You don't know if he goes home and puts a dress on and then goes out to local truck stops, you know, to get pegged by, you know, older men. Like, you don't fucking know, like, what guys are doing in their own time. So this is one of those situations. I didn't understand how bad their family dynamic was. I didn't understand how bad, like, the drinking was. Like, he never came to work hungover. He never came to work smelling like booze. Like, I got a guy who's a drunk. He comes to fucking work every day. He smells like booze every single day. No ifs, ands, buts, or what's about it. Right? This guy's never done that. So what do I know about his family dynamic? Nothing. Well, the cops go to get him. And I don't hear anything for like 2 hours. And then I reach out to the cop buddy and go, hey, what's going on with Marty? And he goes, he's arrested, domestic violence. He punched her in the face. Then I'm like, what the fuck? Because now I gotta fire him because I can't have a woman beater working for me. Regardless of how good of a worker you are, I just can't have people go, oh, well, he supports that type of thing, you know? And I actually see a picture of her face where he popped her, and I was like, holy shit, you know? Now, I don't bail him out. You know, he's on his own for that. And, I wind up talking to him like a couple days later. I go see him because he had some stuff of mine that I needed to get back. And he's got a fucking huge gash on his head. And I'm like, what happened to you? He's like, you know the Yankee candles? You know the glass tops, that big knob of glass? He goes, I was laying there sleeping. She went out, went through my truck, found that I was like hiding cigarettes and shit, and she fucking smashed me in the face while I was sleeping with this Yankee candle fucking candle lid, you know? So I jumped up and I fucking popped her. Now, I don't agree with that one. I don't agree with that at all. But I could definitely see how that could happen in 100 other scenarios, not just this one or with this guy. It could be anybody, you know? So, you know, he's like, I gotta get out of there. And I agreed that he needed to get out of there for his kid. She's screaming at me on the phone that he needs to get out of there. So what do? I fucking helped the guy out. I for like 2 weeks he's living in his mother's house. His mother's a crackhead, like a bona fide crackhead. Lives in a crack house, like something you'd see off of like fucking New Jack City or something, you know? And I'm like, none of my guys are gonna live like this. Hell no. So I go and I get him an apartment, right? I dole out like $3,300 first, last security for this apartment that's in Connecticut, which is like 20-something minutes away. I'm giving him a company truck to drive back and forth to work on my gas dime, right? And this is over the winter. So, like, we're not doing really anything but plowing. And he's showing up, you know, when it's time, when it snows. And, I mean, I don't know what the fuck he's doing. I don't know what his life's like. So, I go back, you know, a month or, you know, I mean, I go forward, we're like a month into it, and I'm like, look, man, I'm like, you know, we got this big job coming up at this place called Polar Park. It's like a minor league baseball team type place, you know, and I'm like, look, we got this big job coming up at Polar Park. We got to go stripe this. It's kind of an emergency thing. It's in the middle of January, which, you know, if you know anything about striping knows that's not a good fucking time to go to go stripe anything, but we do. You know, we go out. We're talking at 7 o'clock, and he's gonna meet me, and he doesn't fucking show up. And I'm calling him. He doesn't show up. And then it's like, oh, he finally calls me at like 1, 2 in the afternoon. He's like, oh, I couldn't get to work. I mean, I couldn't wake up. I got this new phone, which he did. He had to go get like a prepaid phone because the phone was in her name, and she canceled it. So he's like, I just don't know how to use it, which doesn't surprise me. This guy's not tech savvy. He doesn't have Facebook. He's not like a computer guy. So I just like, okay, it sucks, but it is what it is. You know, tomorrow we got to go back. We got to finish. I wasn't able to do it all by myself in one day. So then next thing you know, the next day rolls around and he fucking does the same thing. He doesn't show up at 7 a.m. when he's supposed to show up. So now I'm fucking pissed and I want my truck back. So I start going on my GPS and I'm seeing that he's taken my truck like at very odd times, like in the middle of the night. He's going from his house out to like some shady area. I looked it up on Google Maps. I see the fucking the house. It looks like a crack house. He's there for like 3 minutes and he's gone. This is at like 2 o'clock in the morning, right? Everything is screaming, I'm a drug addict. I'm running in your truck to go pick up my drugs. So me and my wife, we fucking go on a mission. We steal the truck back. We get the truck back. And I tell him, like, you're done. I know what you're doing. I know what you're up to. You're done, you know? And I pretty much, like, cut the guy off. He begs me to come back. I tell him, look, I know you're on drugs. I need you to go take a drug test. I'm not on drugs. I swear to God, I'm not on drugs. Okay, fine. Then go take a drug test. I set up a thing for a drug test, $250, non-refundable. And he doesn't fucking show up for the appointment. So at that point, he's really fucking done. I tell him, look, dude, you're done. You're done, you know? And I fire him, you know? That was that was in January. We're in September now. So something happens in my town, very tragic accident. And the mother of his kids, the woman who he was with that night when I called the cops, was in a fatal car accident with her new boyfriend. They were, from what I understand, intoxicated. They were doing 80 miles an hour on a back road. They lost control of their vehicle and they hit a tree. She died instantly. He's in ICU. I still think right now. And it's horrible, right? Fucking horrible. She's got a 15-year-old daughter who's absolutely just a great little kid. Through all, everything said that this family loved this daughter, right? They gave her great attention. She was well taken care of. At the end of the day, they might have been alcoholics, but they loved their kid, And she dies. It's fucking horrible, right? So I find that out because at 2:30 in the morning, he sends me a text message that says, hey, we'll call her Sandra. Sandra was in an accident tonight. She's dead. I can't believe it. Call me when you get this. I'm like, what? So I try calling him. He doesn't answer. I tell him, hey, look, I try calling you. You call me back. He calls me back. Oh my God, this is the worst thing that could have possibly happened. I really need my job back. I have to be able to take care of my daughter. Now I feel fucking horrible. Like, holy shit. Like, this is fucking horrible, and yeah, I want to help you. Like, the season's almost over. I really don't need you, but I want to help you, and at the same time, you can help me. And so I tell him, but you got to take a drug test, man. You burned me fucking bad. You burned me bad, so you got to go take a drug test. So he's like, yeah, I'll take it, no problem. So I tell him, okay, tomorrow you can work, and then after work, you're gonna go take a piss test. Okay, no problem. So we set it all up, $250. He goes to work that day. They had 4 tennis courts to stripe, one, and then one in another state, which is, maybe an hour away to go stripe. So they go do all that, but by the time they're done at 7 o'clock at night, he can't go for his drug test. So I tell him, okay, now you're going to go tomorrow. And, yep, no problem, no problem. He says, can I please take a truck home? And I go, because he doesn't have a car. I go, look, I'm very adamant this season about letting people take vehicles. I will let you take it for this week. You know, his mother's house is maybe a mile from my land where we meet in the morning. So it's like, you know, I will let you, but coming Monday you need to figure it out for yourself, because I'm not doing it. You know, we'll pick you up at your house if we have to, but you're not going to be running a vehicle. You're coming back to a company, but dude, it ain't the same company that you left. Okay, you burned bridges when you left. You're not going to come back in here like you're king shit. I got guys that have been working for me all season that have been busting their ass, and they deserve the respect that they have. Like, you can come back, but you're going to have to earn their respect. You're going to have to earn my trust. You're basically going to be starting all over again. Yeah, I have no problem with that. I really just need a job. Thank you very much for giving me a chance. I love you. You're the best. No one's ever given me a chance before. I really like working for you. I miss doing this, blah, 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 blah. Okay. He takes a truck home. And I just checked the GPS to make sure. And he got home like 15 minutes after he dropped my neighbor off. My neighbor also works for me. And he dropped my neighbor off. And then he was home like 15 minutes later, so I didn't really say shit. So 6:30 in the morning, I come rolling up to the land. Everybody's there. No Marty. Marty's not there. My truck's not there. I'm fucking calling him. Calling him. Like, get the fuck out of here. I can't believe that this is happening. Calling him. And he doesn't answer. I call him like 37 times in 15 minutes. He doesn't answer him. Now I'm like, shit. You know, this guy's supposed to go take a drug test. He's not answering. He's got my fucking truck. And I go get my truck. I look on the GPS. It's still at his mother's house. We go get the truck. We bring the truck back to the land. He says, oh man, I woke up. My alarm didn't go off at 8 o'clock. He texts me, I'm really sorry. Please call me. I'm like, dude, I'm not fucking doing this again. I'm just not doing it. No way. And I'm not doing it. So, go take the drug test and we'll go from there. Okay. I tell him you got 48 hours to take this drug test. Okay. First day, doesn't take it. I reach out to him the second day. What's going on? Oh, I'm trying to get a ride over there. So I know right now, okay, I'm being fucking dicked around, okay? Now, like a week before this, I got a message through one of my credit cards that says, you know, your card was declined, your card is locked, please turn it back on. So this was a credit card that I gave him when he was working for me. And then when I fired him, I just locked it, you know, and just said, you know, I'll just get a new card. But I never did. I have a ton of cards. I use mostly my American Express. This was like a Capital One Spark card that I got when I was like starting my business to help me build credit. But now that I have credit, I just use my American Express Platinum card for everything. And I locked that card and just kind of forgot about it, you know. But I get in a hit on that, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe it was just something that had an automatic renew. I didn't even look at what it was, you know. And then a couple days later, I get another one saying that that someone tried using it and it was declined. So now I'm like, what the fuck's going on, you know? And I know that he had the card at the time, you know, that he was fired, but I don't know that it's him trying to use it now. So then I call Capital One and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And I tell him what the deal is. Capital One says, hey, yeah, someone's trying to use your card. They're trying to transfer money over to Cash App. And we figured that it was fraudulent, so we stopped it from going through. Then they tried to use it over at the 7-Eleven to buy, it was like $8.16, which is probably a pack of cigarettes. And we denied that too, because you never got back to us about the Cash App thing. And so I'm like, this motherfucker, like he is trying to fucking steal money from my credit card. Like, I can't fucking believe this. So we do some investigating. We find out that he tried to use it like 5 times in the last week. Like, and that's the thing. Like, what was he going to do? Just use it and then be like, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I had to use it, but take the money. Who the fuck knows how a crackhead thinks? Now, he is a crackhead. Now, he's lost like 80, 90 pounds since he worked for me last. The guy said he looked like shit. So after he works the first day, he hits up this guy Chris, old Chris, that works for us, and he's like, hey, can I borrow $100? Now, Chris is the type of guy where he's never going to tell you no. If he has it, he'll give it to you, even if it means he's going to go without. And he fucking takes him to the bank, gives him $100, and then the next morning, Adi can't show up for work. So I find this out by the guys. The guys tell me, oh yeah, Chris gave him $100 yesterday too. And I'm like, I fucking can't believe this. So he's used $100. He took $100 of Chris. He's using his fucking credit card, or he's trying to steal from me on my credit card, right? And I'm like, I'm beside myself, right? Like, I can't believe I stick my neck out for this guy after this tragedy, and he's that much of a fucking crackhead that he's trying to fucking steal stuff from me, you know? And so I you know, in the meantime, he had asked me the day before. Now, he told me when he came back to work, I don't want a paycheck for 3 weeks. I want you to hold all my paychecks. At the end of those 3 weeks, I'll be able to get an apartment for my daughter, and you know, like, you know, sounded really focused on trying to get his life back together and trying to make a life for his now daughter that does not have a mother, you know. And so I'm like, yeah, I already oh shit. I'm like, yeah, Marty, whatever you want to do, buddy. You know, like, I'll do whatever you want to do. So after the first day he worked, I'm like, you got to go for a piss test. You got to get there and take that piss test. So, yeah, I'm trying to get a ride. Oh, by the way, I need the money that I made I need the money from work yesterday because I have my daughter tonight. Now, he told me he's not taking his daughter to his mother's house. That he would never bring her there. It's a dump. There's fucking cockroaches, blah, blah, blah. So I know he's lying to me. He just wants the money. And I tell him, no, like, I don't pay cash. You know that. It's going to go through payroll. And that's just how it is, you know, like, and it would have been about $400 for the day that he worked, you know. And I'm like, no, I'm not fucking giving it to him. Like, no, like, it's going through payroll. I go, you know, you're in no fucking position you're in no position to ask anybody for favors, man. I mean, you know, just go take your drug test. You'll get paid through payroll. Cut the bullshit, you know. And I don't hear shit back from him. So then I find out the next day when he doesn't show up that he, you know, borrowed money from Chris and the whole 9 yards. Then I find out he tried stealing money from the credit card. So I text him and I'm like, listen, if I find out that it was you at the Webster 7-Eleven who tried to use my credit card, I'm pressing charges on you. And I hope they throw you in jail, and I hope it helps clean your life up. What are you talking about? He messages me back. It's like, dude, fuck you. What am I talking about? Like, you think I'm a fucking idiot? Like, no, I'm not a fucking idiot. I am more cunning than you will ever give me credit for. I know what you're up to, and I'm cutting you off right now. I'm sorry that this happened. I wish you the best of luck. I'm taking the money that you were supposed to get paid that day. I'm giving Chris his $100 back. The other $250 is going to the drug test that you fucking stuck me on again, and I am officially blocking you. I wish you the best of luck. Now, I had a phone call from this other person who owns a seal coating company, and they're like, your ex-employee is asking me for a job. I want to know what kind of person he is. I go, he's a crackhead who beats his wife and stole $3,000 from me. What more can I tell you? Okay, I'm going to stay away from him, she says. But she doesn't stay away from him. She hires him, and he lasts about a week before, you know, he's begging her for money every day, not showing up. And she was like, yeah, wow, you were right about this guy. And that was it. He's fucking gone, you know? So that's the story. It's a sad story, and it makes me think, like, if you're an employer and you got employees, you want to fucking take care of your employees. You do. You do. You know, they're your guys. They're your team. It's like your family. But, you know, sometimes, like, your family's dysfunctional and you'll put up with so much. But sometimes you just can't put up with it anymore. And I'm not going to put up with people lying to me. I'm not going to put up with people fucking trying to steal from me. Especially after I've gone out of my way to try to help somebody. You know, that's the type of boss I am. I fucking just try to help somebody, you know. I donated to the GoFundMe for the you know, I gave $1,000 to the family, like, that to try to help with the burial costs. It's like, what the fuck? So my advice to you as you build your business and you start to add these employees on is, number one, you can't be friends with them. They are not your friends. They are your employees. And it's very easy to become friendly with these guys, all right? And you can have a great relationship with them, but you can't look at them like a friend because it's going to cloud your judgment when it comes time to discipline them or correct them for things that they've done wrong. They're going to look at you like, you're my friend. Like, what the fuck? How could you say this to me? When it's like, no, I'm just trying to make you better. I'm just trying, and then it's the shit that they try to get away with when they think that your friend, that they think that they are like on a friend level with you. They will try to get away with shit. I love my friends. I've had friends that have worked for me and helped me like at this business, and I love them like they're brothers. I always will, but they took advantage of that friendship, and my judgment was clouded because of that friendship, which allowed me to let them get away with a ton of shit, which then, gave them this false feeling like that they could keep doing it because I wasn't going to discipline them on it, like being late or not working weekends when everybody else is working weekends and nights. It's like, I allow this behavior to happen, so it's my fault in the end, right? If I had just nipped it in the butt in the beginning and just made this the standard, then I wouldn't have to worry about all that other shit. But I don't. Like, I'm too nice. I walk around on eggshells. I don't want to piss people off. I wait until things absolutely get, crazy and out of control before I finally speak up about it. And that's something that I have worked on over my years, This is a perfect situation. I want to help my guys. I want to take care of my guys. I always tell my guys, if I got it, you got it. And if I can help them, like, get into an apartment or buy a house or whatever I can do to help them, I will help them, right? But, you can't then, after you've been helped, turn into this fucking lying, conniving, and that's what seems to happen. I've never in my life had an employee who I gave money to, loaned money to, that it didn't end like badly, like within a month of that happening. So as you're growing your business and you're adding these employees, number one, don't be friends with them. They're not your friends. Respect them, treat them good. They will respect you and they will treat you good back. You can have friendly relationships with them, but you're not going to their house for dinner. You're not inviting them to your family cookouts and birthday parties and kids' graduation parties and shit like that. You got to keep business, and personal life is your personal life, and do your due diligence on who you're hiring. Like, there seems to be a lot of alcoholics and drug addicts in this business, and it's unfortunate, but there are good guys out there. You just gotta spot them. And another thing is, if you notice somebody and they have a problem, or you suspect them of having a problem, get on it fast. Don't allow it to continue. If you smell something on somebody, or here's a fucking great story, right? I had this guy, big black dude from down south. He was a friend of mine's cousin. My friend's like, yo, this kid, he knows how to seal coat. He's moving up here from South Carolina. Can you give him a job? I'm like, yeah, no problem, and I'll give him a shot. So he comes up, big dude, like 6'3", fucking 290. He's a monster, right? And he talked like the dude from the Green Mile. What up, Bose? What you doing, Bose? So one day, like, we're at this job, and I'm walking back into this customer's backyard. There's like a gate. We're doing a tennis court at a house. A woman had just like survived her last cancer thing, and they had like a kicking cancer party, and very rich house, very nice. We're doing the tennis court over. She's got all these people there working on the grounds. I'm walking through this gate. I look down. I see this pink, like, dime bag on the ground. And I'm like, and it's right there. It's like it's early in the morning. It doesn't have dew on it. There's no moisture on the inside of the bag. Somebody just fucking dropped it. I pick it up. I open the bag. I rub my finger on the corner. I touch it to my tongue. I can tell it's Coke. So I go up to one of my employees, Joe, and I'm like, hey, I know it's not his. And I'm like, hey, I hate to ask you this, but, is this yours? Like, I just found this. He's like, no. I'm like, I know it's not. I got to ask everybody. Then I go to the guy who I knows it is, right? Who's living in the projects where they're still using dime bags. People out in the burbs are not using dime bags. They're using corners of baggies, right? And I go, yo, look, dude, what is this? Like, you can't. Now, he turns around, and it looks like he has a fucking stick of chalk sticking out of his nose. I swear to God. And he's like, hey, what's up, boss? And I go, dude, what is this? And he's like, oh, that ain't mine, boss. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? This dude's got nostrils like a horse. I'm like, I can see right up into your brain. It's fucking, his right nostril's covered in fucking white stuff. And I'm like, he's like, oh, maybe it's the trees people. Maybe it's the people working on the trees. Those Mexicans, they love that. They love that Coke. Sorry, Mexicans. Those are his words, not mine. And I'm like, no, it's not. And if I ever fucking see this again, you're fucking fired. And if we weren't an hour and a half from the fucking house, you'd be fucking fired. Like, what are you fucking thinking? And when you see something like that, that should have been that dude's last day. But I didn't. I let him stay on for a month or two after, and it wound up ending bad anyways. So you got to be able to nip that shit in the butt the second you see it. I had like 3 or 4 or 5 guys a season. Maybe if I'm lucky, one of them, 2 of them a season might be good and worth keeping. But you got to let them figure that out for themselves. Guys are going to come on, they're going to think they're king shit. They're going to think they know everything there is to know about it, and that's going to be the guy at the end of the season who's standing there with his dick in his hand, not knowing what the fuck is going on. I don't know what I'm doing. What am I supposed to be doing right now? While everybody else is out running around working, this guy feels alone and out of place. You can't help guys like that, man. You can't. So, you got to work hard. Work hard on building a good team. Be smart enough to recognize if you got problems or weak spots in your team, and try to stay away from the alcoholics and the drug addicts. I know it's hard in this industry, and you really don't know who you got until you got them, but people will reveal themselves to you faster than slower, I guess. I don't know what word I'm trying to use. I'm going magnet fishing right now. This is how this whole thing started. I fucking bought a magnet. I want to go magnet fishing, and now I'm making videos about crack addict employees, and my little magnet fishing hole is right there. So, yeah. I'll let you know how the magnet fishing goes.